Hey everybody, I am Afefe with Touched by Tarot. I'm so glad you're here. If you're new to my channel, I hope you like what you see, and if so, please hit that like button and subscribe. For all of my new subscribers, I am so glad to have you on board, and I intend to, continue to create good content for you, keep you coming back for more, all right? I love to hear your comments. Let me know what you think, and again, I really appreciate for the algorithm on YouTube. It really helps if you all will like the videos, comment on the videos. It all helps me grow. And then I can do more and more content for you as well. So I do, for those of you who already know, and if not, this is going to be new for you. Every month I do a pick a card reading, very popular for both the full moon and the new moon. We have a new moon coming up in Pisces on between February 19 and 20, depending on where you are in the world. So my process is, you know what, I'm going to tilt this camera down just a little bit so you can see the table a little bit better. Yeah, that'll help. Okay, perfect. My process is that I pull the cards in advance just to save us a little time on taping, but I do not see them until I reveal them and interpret them for you. So it's fresh for me as well. For this pick a card, I've got 3 piles in front of me, you all. I've got both a leader card. See how your spirit, your intuition pings you, especially in a very intuitive sign like Pisces, this new moon in Pisces. So I want to see what pings you with regard to, for pile number 1, I chose for you this beautiful heart-shaped smoky quartz, all right? And your leader card, your message card, if this pings you, is worry is a wasted emotion, all right? So that's worry is a wasted emotion with that smoky quartz. That's going to be for pile number 1. For pile number 2, you've got this lovely chrysocolla. And your leader card, if this pings you, is be yourself. All right, that's pile number 2. Chrysocolla with that be yourself. Maybe there's something there for you on that. And for pile number 3, we've got this opalite with all of its little warm and cool colors. It's beautiful stone, opalite. And your leader card is possess self-confidence, all right? So if you're drawn to that, pile number 3. And you may be drawn to more than one. Very often that happens with pick a cards. But the idea is it is your spirit guides, your intuition that's going to pull you in the direction of that particular message, okay? All right, so I'm going to put these other 2, piles 2 and 3 aside, and let's go in and see what this new moon in Pisces has for you who chose this smoky quartz. And worry is a wasted emotion. We're going to keep that to the side because everything that we see here is going to deal with that topic of worry is a wasted emotion. These are your advice cards. I'm going to save those to the last. And we have focus. So this is about changing your thought patterns, new beginnings. And your 2 tarot are the 3 of Pentacles and the Empress. All right. Let me take this in for a second and then I'll show it to you. And I want to see your advice. As to renewal and future. Yeah. Pile number 1. I think the reason that you were drawn to this, worry is a wasted emotion, is because it's kind of like you don't even have to be in a state of worry right now. Like this doesn't have to be necessarily an anxious time for you. This is more about a life pattern or a state of mind that you adapt in general about how you live your life. This is about your own personal philosophy. And the reason I say that is because in tarot, your 2 cards, notice the number 3 for you is very important because we have double 3s here. We have the 3 of Pentacles who came with the Empress, which in the major arcana is the number 3 as well. So 3s are numbers of growth, numbers of fertility, it's a number of collaborating. It's a number where groups are very often involved in something. Because in Pentacles, we're thinking about something that you are building and working and growing toward, especially again, because the Empress with all of that beautiful fertility, but you see all that earthy energy around her. It's not just the ability to create, but it's actually seeing your creation come to life. So pile number 1, I would not be surprised if many of you are either artists of some sort or entrepreneurs of some sort. You've got something that it's on you to build, and that would be one reason why, worry might try to linger there in the background. But I think you've done enough work, or you've got enough support with this Three of Pentacles showing up for you, that you don't have to worry. And I think there's a part of you that's coming into an awareness of that. And I say that as well because two of your other oracles here, one says new beginnings with the little baby shoes. I love that. And focus with that incredible, is that an owl? No, it looked like an owl. That's a moth. Ooh, let me hold that up super close so you can see how incredible is that. And talk about Pisces energy right now, this new moon in Pisces. That is incredibly dreamy, kind of ethereal, cosmic, incredible energy. So that's where you are right now, pile number one. It's a beautiful thing to see and to feel that energy. Worry is a wasted emotion. And you may have been drawn to that saying because that is, that's kind of like a motto for you, right? I feel like the top of my head is getting cut off here. Let's make just a little bit more of an adjustment. There we go. Okay, I think that's a little better. All right, so that's a beautiful thing. Now, your advice is we had this focus for you a moment ago with that incredible image, and then your advice is your North Node, your future. So I think, again, you're not in a state of worry. This is more spirit confirming for you, pile number one, that is a lovely motto for you. And whatever it's taken for you to get to a point in your life where you've learned worry is a wasted emotion, and you've chosen to put your energy in a different direction rather than, think about the what ifs and I don't know and all of those things. You are moving ahead to build something in your life. This could actually be a birth if some of you are in that age range, and in that stage of life where you're looking to build your family. This could be that, especially I'm thinking because we got that new beginnings, and those little baby shoes. So this could be an actual birth. It could also be in the realm of business. It could be the start of a business, or a business that you've decided to take in a certain direction so you can grow it, maybe broadening your clientele, maybe tweaking your approach a little bit or your business plan, maybe planning with that Three of Pentacles as well, planning, say, 3 years out, because again, that 3 is pinging me. There's some sort of resonance with the number 3. It could also be a timing element, something that happens around 3 months from now. So is this February, March, April, May, something around mid to late May. You may be on the lookout for some new developments for you. And what a beautiful confirmation for you all. You got the Garden of Venus, rest and relaxation. Now, the Empress brings a lot of Venus energy as well. Loving to create, loving to see people happy, loving to bring a very nurturing, mothering energy. The Empress is the divine mother in many respects. And so that Garden of Venus, with all of that fertility, with all of that growing things, Garden of Venus could be your focus. You're in thinking too about your North Node, your future, what you were here for, your life purpose, okay? Your focus is on where you are headed. It is on knowing that it's not just, you're not coming from a place of ego, pile number one. I don't feel that at all. You genuinely enjoy bringing things to life, seeing people happy, providing, and nurturing others. You are probably a person who, when you care about people, you may be that person that people tend to turn to, and you always are there to give that hug, that support, that advice. I feel like I want spirits telling me just pull a couple more clarifiers for you. So your advice is definitely rest and renewal. That's another reason why worry is a wasted emotion, because your focus needs to be on giving yourself time to regenerate so that what you love to do, you're always prepared to do more of. You get the inspiration to do it. You have the energy to do it. You have the support to do it. People who you need to meet, people who need to be placed in your path to help you along the way. All of those doors with that Empress energy, all of those doors will easily open up for you because you're not draining your energy. Oh, I don't know. No, you're saying, this is who I am. That North Node, this is what I came here to do. So come on, universe, let's do this together. Let's co-create. You got the Knight of Pentacles. So that is building something. That Three of Pentacles, remember, we got. And the Empress is a very earthy energy as well. So this is certainly pile number one. This is certainly something that you are doing with your life. You are building. Again, this could be either raising a family, having a family, being an artist, being someone who, a crafts person, being someone who produces something of value, of beauty. This could even be cosmetic. It could be in the care of the body. You could be someone who's really into, diet and taking care of the body, building the body for more beauty and more longevity. You could also be healing. Seven of Swords, exactly. That's why the worry is a wasted emotion. And the Two of Pentacles, so much earthy energy around you all. Hands down, pile number one, this new moon in Pisces for you is about staying focused on the possibilities of what can be, of what you know. You're not even in a process of learning it. You know who you are and really truly what it is that you enjoy doing in the world. And now it's just a process of going through, building on that, and attracting more of your own innate creative vision, allowing your imagination, especially during the time of Pisces, right? Extremely imaginative, extremely psychic, extremely intuitive. So paying attention to your dreams, especially right around this time. Those little, what they call the niggles, things that you get in your gut that tell you what direction you want to go in. But it's all systems go with your desire to build, your desire to produce things that bring comfort and joy to others, and in so doing, it all just circles back to you. For you, worry really is a wasted emotion, and I just love knowing that you already get that. All right, okay, so moving on now to pile number two, those of you who chose this beautiful chrysocolla, and your leader card said be yourself. So if you were drawn to that, be yourself. Let's see what Spirit has to say on that. Those are your advice cards. And you have the masculine, the divine masculine, illusion. I'll show these to you, of course. The King of Cups, all right, that comes very nicely with that masculine. And the Knight of Pentacles. And then your advice is to investigate something more in Scorpio energy, deep investigation. This is going deep. And the whale song, which is also very deep. Again, I'll show all these to you. Resonating. Be yourself. Pile number two, a couple of things going on. One is that there is a discovery that you are undergoing now around the true nature of authority and love from a masculine perspective. And I say that because we have these two deeply powerful masculine energies that came to different decks, right? One tarot and one an oracle. But we have the King of Cups in tarot, which is about emotional intelligence from the masculine perspective. It is knowing how to act on, because with kings in tarot, as opposed to queens or complementing queens, kings are ready to act on what they know. Queens very often are about a feeling and intuition, that divine feminine, that yin to the masculine yang, right? Yang being active, yin being more receptive, okay? So we've got this King of Pentacles, King of Cups energy, which is about you've known or you are learning the nature of lovingness, loving kindness, and being able to exert that, being able to show up in the world and for those you care about with that kind of energy. This could also be someone, and also can't discount the astrology. So if this could be someone who is Scorpio, Pisces, we're in this Pisces new moon, right? Or Cancer. right? So think about that as well. That could be your sun, moon, or rising, or someone close to you who's that sign, all right? Now, when it comes with this also incredibly, the masculine, meaning just the divine masculine in general, embodying the divine masculine energy, and be yourself. I'm going to say this, I'm a straight shooter, or if you're just getting to know me, I'm a straight shooter. Excuse me. If this is about gender preference, or, excuse me, sorry about that, there's dust in here. Okay, I think I got it. If this is about gender preference, then this is be yourself. It may be why you were drawn to this, all right? And I don't even have to go into a lot of detail with that. You understand what that means. There is a caution against living your life as though it were an illusion. There is a caution against you've had to learn some lessons around the true meaning of love from that masculine perspective. Again, whatever your preference is, however you show up in the world, but there is always divine masculine and divine feminine, right? The two blend together, the two have to interact in order for us to have balance in the world, in our lives, right? In our relationships. So you have learned something, or are in the process of learning something about yourself, and to be yourself, to show up as your authentic self. Because if you have been living in a way that is, you're trying to live up to others' expectations, or you've been feeling like, I'm definitely going to pull a couple more cards for you, pile number 2. But if you've been feeling like, or you have lived in a state of being what you should be, or what you think you should be, versus how you really want to show up in the world, and being true to yourself, then that is why you were drawn to that be yourself card. Your 4th card here is the Knight of Pentacles. So there's a slow learning process that you've been going through. It's almost like I'm getting an image of you coming out of a cocoon, where there's just been this period of time where you've needed to learn more about who you are, about your values, and about the notion of acceptance and unconditional love. I think that's also why we're seeing this powerful masculine energy, because unconditional love is an act. It's not just the belief in how you love somebody, but it's how you show up for somebody. It's that's how they know it's unconditional, or how you will feel that someone's love is unconditional, because it's how they show up. It's how they treat you. It's how they speak to you. It's how they, how they interact with you. Unconditional love is not a passive thing. It's actually how you demonstrate love under and with no judgment and no conditions. You have the Tower. I'm not at all surprised to see that with the World. I love this. I love this for you all. I'm going to say this. Pile number 2, there have been times that it has not been easy for you. And it may have even caused you to let your authentic self push to the side, just so you could get through a situation, just so you could get through life, especially if this is a workplace situation. I'm feeling for some of you, because that is where certainly there's always that, there's peer pressure. There's that idea that you need to fit into a certain either corporate culture or, a certain office environment. Everybody's got their unique personalities, but it's like, where do I fit, And for you, maybe there's something, maybe you're particularly shy, because that would also, or introverted, because that would also bring out the masculine principle, which is about the ability to act, and act confidently, and act with a certain authority, and doing it in that cups, that King of Cups that we got for you, doing it with authority, but also a gentle authority, an assured authority, understanding, be yourself. The authority that you give yourself to show up for that. But these 2 last clarifiers that I got for you are Major Arcana, which always brings that more pow, pay attention energy. You have the World, right? And comes with the Tower. Okay? There's been a radical shift, or there is about to be, because again, this reading is on a new moon in Pisces, where you imagine something different, where you are, there's no bounds, and also where there is tremendous compassion and empathy. I think you are learning that King of Cups energy again, and with that divine masculine that we saw, you are learning, pile number 2, to be compassionate with yourself, and perhaps even, rather than respond in anger if someone doesn't seem to get you, or there's that sense that there's not unconditional acceptance or love, rather than react in resentment or anger toward that person or situation, you have learned how to kind of rise above that, and you've taken a drastically different approach that is allowing you to be yourself, because the Tower indicates either, it is a breakdown of what was, but it's not meant to punish. It's meant to kind of clear the playing field so that you can build from there. And pile number 2, that hasn't been easy for you. You've had to have that Tower moment in order for you to complete a cycle. That's what the World is speaking to here. You had to really get there, and for you to get to this point, there were a lot of steps that had to be taken. There was a lot of shedding old skin that you had to do, going back to that illusion. But it was a wake-up call. That's what I feel. It was really kind of shattering, not to downplay the energy of a Tower, because that can be very jolting, very, if someone really let you down, if someone betrayed you, if someone, and we all go through that at some stage in our lives. But for you in particular, what the purpose for that and what it's done for you is it made you determined more than ever to be yourself. And whoever's going to be in your life, or whatever success that you're able to enjoy and that you will enjoy in your endeavors, your personal endeavors, your business endeavors, relationships, even your health, even taking charge of your mental health, that's coming to me. Taking charge of your mental health and taking charge of your emotional health. Having, again, King of Cups being a master of emotional intelligence. And because we are dealing in Pisces, I'm going to mention, if there has been some shadowy energy in your life with that illusion coming up, Pisces, if it is negatively aspected, we know can be one of the most addictive signs, meaning that because it is so tremendously compassionate, so watery, so empathetic, so loving, sometimes it can get to be too much. It's overwhelming. And so there can be a tendency to turn to substances. And substances could be alcohol, it could be drugs, but substances can also be things like retail therapy, shopping when you don't really need something, finding things to help you, numbing yourself with food, or other substances. It's just where it takes you out of what is healthy for you, and because you just don't want to deal with it. And that could be where some of that illusion came in as well for you. But you have definitely, that Tower and that World are either bringing you out of that as we speak in this new year, 2023, still in the beginning stages of that. And as we wrap up this World could also be reminding us as we wrap up this astrological year, because Pisces is the last sign in the zodiac. We start next with Aries, which starts a whole new astrological year. So this could be you wrapping up, some loose ends around standing for who you are, understanding that who is going to be there for you will be there for you, and you will not do anything to your own detriment in terms of your behaviors, in terms of recognizing your right to exist as you are. It is a slow process, again, with that Knight of Pentacles, so don't get, frustrated with yourself. Don't push yourself too fast, but it is a done, as I often say, it's a done data. You are growing more comfortable with showing up in the world exactly how you are meant to be. All right? And the last two things that we had for you, your advice cards, we got that Scorpio Investigate, and we had that resonating, that deep whale song. This again goes with what we were saying. For you, it's about a sense of discovery. And notice the deep watery energy of both of these, okay? the watery energy of Scorpio. Scorpio also tied to the tower, ruled by, co-ruled by Mars and Pluto. So definitely this is a deeply emotional time for you if you chose pile number 2. And your whale song is that resonating with your authenticity, be yourself. It's you discovering who you are, standing for who you are, King of Cups, but you're doing it in a place of emotion, in a place of how you feel, in a place of your growing your emotional intelligence. Amazing, amazing. All right, so with that, I'm going to move on to pile number 3. Those of you who chose the opalite and the message of possess self-confidence. All right, let's see what's going on for pile number 3. Here's your advice cards. We'll put those to the side. You have the Page of Pentacles, the Five of Wands, the season of winter. So maybe we're looking at the recent past, and we're wrapping up winter now. And boundaries. Wow. Possess self-confidence. I'll tell you this. I'm drawn to, because your leader and what drew you to this was the possess self-confidence. We've got the Five of Wands here. See that tension between the two of them? So if you were drawn to this, you are either currently going through, or in the winter season, there is a stage of life that you're going through, pile number 3, where your confidence is being tested. And there is, it's like you may have a certain stance on something, someone else has a different stance on it, and there's a standoff. In this particular situation, it's even deep enough. You see, she's got her bags packed, the trunk of the car is ready, and somebody's getting ready to get out of there. All right? It can get that deep. The conflict can get that heavy. And notice, you have boundaries that came for you as well. So there's been that self-confidence. Your confidence has been tested, pile number 3, and it's been tested in relation to somehow others are challenging you. And I wonder if this is even perhaps on the domestic front, just because of the way this energy presents itself. This is not a workplace or that kind of situation. This could very well be on the domestic front. And the winter, I feel like that's more of a timing element. We are still technically within the winter season here in America. But winter is also a time when we hibernate, when we close in, when things kind of slow down. Your other card here is the Page of Pentacles. And this is a slow growth. It's an opportunity to establish yourself and go in a direction that you can build on something. It is happy, but it takes time. I for sure want to go in a little more on you. Your advice cards, before I do that, I'm drawn to these because your advice cards, you've got Chiron, which is, where our wound is. Notice you had that boundaries, which is where the wounding can come from. Someone who has encroached your boundaries, someone who, or a situation where it could, now if it is the workplace, I'm feeling more family. Doesn't have to be in your household and directly, but it could be family relationships. Especially winter, especially if there was anything around the holidays or in recent months around that. But Chiron is the wounded healer, right? It is where your boundaries, you maybe have had to really reestablish your boundaries, and having the confidence, possessing the self-confidence to do that, to stand up for yourself. And then there's dances on one foot, a balancing act. That is also boundaries. Because for you, pile number 3, the idea here is these relationships exist for a reason, conflict or no conflict. These relationships are in place for a reason, and perhaps they're simply unavoidable, especially if it is a family situation. What are you going to do? It's your family, it's your partner, it's your children, it's your mom, your dad, whomever. It's a family situation, it's a family dynamic. If it's your job, kind of sort of same principle applies. If you want your job, you want to grow in your career, but there's tension there, or someone who's challenging you in some way, and perhaps you're not a person who typically enjoys, pushing back. Maybe you're someone who is really, you like peace and love. Let's all get along. And someone's really pushing your boundaries to not give you that space. And so there's you having that self-confidence to understand you have a right to establish your boundaries. And you have a right. This is a life lesson. Chiron is, its placement in our charts comes to show us, they say the wound is the place where the light enters in. That is something, pay attention, especially pile number 3. The wound is where the light enters in. So it's taking and possessing self-confidence. It's taking some of these challenges that you're being presented. When people cross the line with you and don't respect your boundaries, there's something in you that is healing, or will learn to heal through that, by building and reestablishing your own boundaries, by balancing that dances on one foot, balances who you are in relation to others, and understanding that you are, the definition of you does not come through the eyes of others, regardless of how it may make you feel in that moment. And this is especially true if it is in a business context or a love relationship. We all want the approval of our loved ones, whether it's the romantic partner or our family. We all want acceptance and approval. But sometimes the very people we expect that from can be the people who cross those boundaries and challenge us on it the most. And so that's your self-confidence coming into play. Ace of Pentacles. Spirit just gave us a yes and a yes. And the Knight of Wands. Yes. For you, pile number 3. This Ace of Pentacles. Remember, we got that Page of Pentacles as well. So this is boundaries is a key word for you, especially in this new moon in Pisces. Remember that, okay? The Ace of Pentacles is planting new seeds, building new boundaries. And that Page of Pentacles is just happy to help you do it. That's an energy that says, in doing that, you actually, it won't be that you are separating yourself from people or closing yourself off from others. It's really about learning your own value and determining your own terms for how you interact with others, and being able to stand your ground. And also, I feel like this is a nod from Spirit to remind you, going back to Chiron, very often it's the people who bark the loudest who have the deepest wounds. Don't know where that came from, but that's what I got. It is the people who bark the loudest who have the deepest wounds. And they are the ones sometimes who will push the hardest in terms of encroaching on your boundaries. So that Ace of Pentacles is saying this is an opportunity for you to recognize your own divine authority and possessing your self-confidence. But I also think, remembering too, we said that Pisces in general, but under this Pisces new moon, it is tremendously empathetic. It is tremendously psychic. It is tremendously intuitive. Tremendously compassionate, and maybe part of what's going on with you, pile number 3, and especially having chosen this kind of really soft, gentle stone like an opalite. It is about being confident in your own tenderness, being confident in your own ability to have both compassion for yourself and compassion for others, because definitely those who tend to show up with a chip on their shoulder is very often because they've been in many circumstances where they had to fight. And that's just the way that they're showing up in the world. But it's really on them. It doesn't have anything to do with you. It's not a reflection of you at all, pile number 3. All right? I hope that was helpful. Please let me know. I love your comments. Again, I really appreciate it if you hit that like button. It helps the algorithm, helps my tapes get out there a little bit farther in YouTube. And give me your comments. Let me know what you thought. I wish you the absolute best during this new moon in Pisces and beyond. All right? Take care.